Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Impacted. And you know what? There is one big question that we've got going on at the moment. That is who shot Johnny Bravo. But to discuss everything on tonight's show, I've got my brother from another mother. He comes in from the empty space of his mind and the void. My co-host, the Joker.
Good morning, Lord Bison.
Good morning, my friend. I was trying to create a bit of tension in there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Couple of little pauses. We've got to make sure that we spice it up a little every single week now. I've got to add something in there to get you excited and raring to go for today's episode. But we're going to get there. I'm sure we'll get there. What have you been up to?
Oh, babe, not anything too exciting. I've been we'll talk a bit about some of the stuff in a minute. But everyone knows about the sad news recently. So
okay, we'll get into that. I know that's hit you quite hard as a big fan. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, no. So we've got a massive show planned for today. Obviously we've got, the big news obviously is the fact that we've got some big matches set up for Turning Point. We've got another team added to the tag titles, the female tag title tournament thing that's going on, as I think it's either next week or the week after. We've also got the interesting stuff with New Japan to talk about, or say Chris Bey being in the Super J Cup. That's really big. But we also need to know, or we need to look at the suspects on the who shot John capital E Bravo. Now it looks like Johnny is he's alive, barely in hospital from what we can gather. News. It is sad, but it's good that we're there. But first of all, before we get to talking about all the wonderful news, let's get the bad news out of the way first. Let's get the sad news out of the way first. So this week, after obviously the worry with Kylie Ray not making the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, none of us knew what was going on. I'm not even sure Impact knew what was going on, but she wasn't there. She didn't take part in her world title shot. We then later hear, after a little bit of sort of kind of silence, nobody really knew. It was a bit of speculation, but nobody really knew what was going on. We then get a release from Kylie herself, announcing her retirement from pro wrestling, and that she was physically okay, but she was just unwell. I think we all know what that's alluding to, but none of us are doctors. So, I think I would rather say, thank you, Kylie, for the the last 3 or 4 months. You've been absolutely superb. A highlight each and every week for Joe and I know that, and I know Joe especially is taking this quite badly. What are your thoughts, Joe?
I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. It's the same scenario that happened with AEW. Things just got too much for her, and I said it last week. I thought she got pushed to the front of the scene in Impact Wrestling a bit too quick soon. And sadly, it's mental health issues are different from no showing for the sake of being an asshole. So Kylie Ray just the mental stress has got too much blatantly, and I wish her all the best. I first spoke to her for a couple of times while I was away, and just basic interaction, hi, like hello and that, and so she's been pretty supportive, and it's still hard to take in and to see another potential great wrestler's career just go in the flash.
Well, interestingly enough, I know it states that she's retired from professional wrestling. we all know that. I mean, she's in her early 20s. I mean, there is always a possibility, wrestlers generally come back from retirements on a regular basis. But I mean, she's retired for now. I think she's doing the right thing. She needs to look after herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, you entertain us. And we appreciate that, but at the same time we care about you. So we want you to be well. We want you to be happy in whatever it is that you do. She did state in her release that once she's sort of feeling better, that she would fulfill some of her obligations. Now what that is, I don't know. Appearance wise, or whether even if that's a couple of wrestling matches, I don't know. But all I know is that at the end of the day, she's retired for now. She's going to take the time that she needs to get well, which I think and from what I can see, or what I've read, there doesn't seem to be any ill will from Impact themselves.
No,
and I'm sure they've been very supportive. I'm sure they've been very supportive, and they will continue to be supportive of Kylie. So sad news for the fans. That we're not going to get to see her perform, but let's take it on the chin, and we've got to think about what's best for her, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I think all that's left to say is hashtag thank you, Kylie. We will miss you. That's about it, really. I don't think there's anything else we can say on that. But good luck with whatever it is that you're going to be doing, and get well soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. We then move on. I think we need to get to this. Who shot Johnny Bravo, Joe? I think we've got Tommy Dreamer looking like Inspector Sherlock Holmes. That's right. I should have known that. He's English. English character. So looking like Sherlock Holmes. He's investigating. He's got it down to 10 potential suspects, which included the likes of obviously Rosemary, Taya. Falaba was in there. The Deaners were in there. Swoggle was in there. So there was
and our fallen angel James Mitchell.
Oh, James Mitchell was in there, but of course he is an angel. But it was interesting, and it was interesting to see, that group of people. Basically, it's pretty much everybody, plus Swoggle that was in Wrestle House, which I think is great. It's sort of kind of following on it's almost it's almost like a sequel, if you know what I mean, like a sequel.
Oh yeah,
carrying it on. So I think it's really good. We even got in the this past week on Impact, we even got a reference to Match Time again, didn't we? With
yes,
which
that was brilliant.
Was funny. Yeah,
Cody Deaner and Johnny Swinger were getting questioned, and then they just told him,
no,
we've got a match. Oh, Johnny Swinger had a. I can't remember how he said it. I got a Machio or something, and in Swinger style. That just made me laugh so much, and the interaction between was fantastic.
Yeah, I think everybody that was involved in Wrestle House and the characters that they've got now are really kind of settled right into their characters, what they're meant to be, and I think they're so comfortable in those characters now that whatever they seem to do, whatever interaction that you're getting it's gold every single time.
Yeah, especially from Taya Valkyrie is one who's really selling it perfectly.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing really good. But who are we thinking then, Joe? I mean, obviously. Tommy was interviewing a couple of people, like we said. He interviewed the ref, Brandon Toll, and in the beginning of last night's show, they did this big vignette with obviously the build into the Who Shot Johnny Bravo thing, and showed all of his negative interactions with all the different suspects, which I thought was really good. So obviously that set up the tone of the night really, really well, I thought. But who do you think? Let's put a name to it, right? Who do you think, Joe, is going to turn out to be the person that shot Johnny Bravo?
I've got a couple of people in mind.
Okay.
Some of it is comedic speculation. So they'll start with the ones that I'm not taking seriously. Taya Valkyrie is one.
Yep.
She's trying to save Rosemary from a bad wedding, unintentionally messing up all of Rosemary's plans to sacrifice the Virgin.
Yeah.
I Crazy Steve was another one. Because the way Johnny Bravo was really taking out his aggression on Crazy Steve, in some ways more than Falavar. And again, Crazy Steve was also another one who was trying to talk Rosemary around and back her up while in Wrestle House.
Yeah.
What the more serious guy I've got down, I think it's Homicide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
Homicide's not even there.
I think Hernandez, because he's trying to get his money off of Johnny Bravo. I think he's got somebody else in from the outside. And pre-Bound for Glory, he was also alluding to possibly reforming the original LAX.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Where was that said?
He said up on Twitter, a couple of weeks before, and that he was interested in possibly bringing LAX back. Whether or not it was just hype to get the fans buzzing about who was coming in, like after the massive insurge we had at Slammiversary.
Yeah,
I think it might have been just hype, but I think Hernandez or Hernandez or Homicide.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting take on it. Before I give you mine, I just want to encourage all of you guys to give us your thoughts in the comments. I think I'd love to hear some of you guys' thoughts and theories on who shot Johnny Bravo. Right, okay, here's mine. I think it's Rosemary.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know if you noticed again tonight, she was wearing her red makeup. I've been trying to. She had the red makeup around the eyes and all the rest of it. I was trying to figure out which one that one is, and I think that one's Wrath, but I might be wrong. Okay, so now I was wondering whether maybe she did it, because like I said, I put a tweet out the other day. For Johnny to be reborn into the character that she wants him to be, he's got to die, right? So that's my I'm thinking Undead Realm stuff here, right? That's what I'm thinking. Undead Realm stuff here.
I like that. So, everyone's pointing the finger at Jessica Havoc as well. If you guys go on Twitter and see her reactions to everything, it's hilarious. And even Sammy Callahan's got involved in pointing the finger at her as well. It's just so funny. Everyone's really taking.
The question is, at the end of the day, who could it be? We're building these characters. That's exactly what it's all about. Building the characters up, making us believe and really, really like them. So bottom line is, we've got, I think, and like I said, I think it's Rosemary. I think she is my main suspect. It's definitely, for me, I could see this being Rosemary because Johnny needed to die. If he didn't die, then she could not reborn him into what she needs him to be.
Yeah.
Right. There's obviously a reason. She needs his virgin. So he's been sacrificed clearly. Okay. At the moment, though, he's not dead. So he's on life support. He's at the hospital. Our thoughts and prayers are with Johnny, aren't they?
Yeah. Johnny, get well soon, buddy. Rosemary needs her virgin to sacrifice. Don't let us down.
Don't let us down. Yeah. So So it's interesting where this is going to lead. It's definitely interesting where this is going to lead. Now, one of the other news points I wanted to talk about is we've had the announcement that basically Chris Bey and TJP, I will add, have been entered into the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super J Cup. Now, only Chris Bey is said to be actually representing Impact because, as far as I'm aware, TJP is a free agent, pay per appearance guy. So it's interesting to see, and I know he's already been doing some of the New Japan dates anyway, leading up to this. But he's been entered. But it's interesting to see that they're actually advertising this on Impact socials, on Impact on ImpactWrestling.com.
Yeah.
It's also on the New Japan Pro Wrestling socials and on the New Japan website, New Japan World, I believe, website. So are we starting to see a working or some sort of kind of collaboration? I'm not necessarily saying a working relationship, but some kind of collaboration here between Impact and New Japan. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Firstly, I think it's great that they seem to have. I know there was a bit of tension between New Japan and Impact Wrestling in the past, and they've had DJZ and Andrea have been down there when they were on Impact Wrestling, but they never got like the Impact Wrestling stamp to their, like, to say they were representing them. So to see Chris Bey come down, that was a surprise, because I didn't think he's do work in Japan, and just didn't cross my mind. So
well, I'm going to say now that the Super J Cup is held in the US. It's not in Japan. So I'm not sure. I don't think there's been a venue announced or anything like that, or where it's going, whatever. But it happens in the US. That's why you'll notice that all the guys that are on there are all US citizens.
Well, either way, it's good to see Chris Bey getting his name out there as much as possible, because he's a fantastic athlete. So, if this does lead to some bridge between New Japan and Impact Wrestling being rebuilt, and because let's face it, Scott D'Amore and Don Callis works with New Japan anyway. And if he can help Scott D'Amore cement things back together, then that's fantastic. It's better for the whole wrestling industry, to be honest. New Japan goes back with Impact Wrestling rather than go to AEW, where they've got a pretty high Japanese talent already there. And
I think that I think bottom line is it sounds like we're starting to get some bridges mended. And I think that in the current climate, that is fantastic. Do I think that there's some kind of full working relationship? Do you know what? I'm not sure on that. But what I do know is that it's nice to see them starting to work together in some kind of way. They're clearly, the bridges are starting to be built. I think a lot of that is obviously with regards to people like the Good Brothers coming in. Like you say, Don Callis has got involved, links there as well. Scott D'Amore. So they've all got kind of, we're starting to get links now between the two companies, with people that they trust and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they trust the Good Brothers, opinions.
Wasn't Matt Striker there as well, or was he just Lucha Underground?
I'm not sure. I think Matt Striker might have done some commentary with Don. To be honest with you, I don't follow New Japan as much as probably I should. I do. I watch it from time to time. I'm more of a guy that sort of picks up on the matches because they're incredible. Like, some of the matches are incredible.
Let us know in the comments, guys. I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong. It's just something that crossed my mind, because Matt Striker and Don Callis did the pre-show to Bound for Glory as well.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. I can't remember. I'm not sure who he did his commentary with over with New Japan. I'm not sure. It might have been Matt Striker. So it'd be interesting. They've got chemistry though. They've definitely got chemistry. We found that out, didn't we? At the Bound for Glory the was it Countdown to Glory?
Yeah.
Great chemistry there between the two, and I really liked it. Both contrasting styles, but they just worked. I think that's good. I think that's great, and I'd like to see that moving forward, possibly onto Impact programming. That's not that I'm not a hater of Josh or anything like that. I just think sometimes you need to mix things up a little bit. Get some different voices in there. And then there's no reason why Josh can't come back at a later date. You know what I mean? That's my thoughts on it.
Definitely.
But what is interesting here about all of this is, like I said, they are actually physically, showing the Impact logo, on their promotional, posters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's there. The Impact logo is there, and they are putting it out that Chris Bey is representing Impact Wrestling. And I think that, that speaks volumes. And it's interesting because, only a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Talk and Shop Full Keg, and Rocky Romero was making an appearance, and we also got a little bit of advertising for New Japan. Even a graphic came up on the screen and everything. The fact that Rocky was there, he's a New Japan Pro Wrestling contracted talent.
Yeah, it's one thing the Good Brothers have been dropping in since they've signed, is they keep bringing up what they've done in Japan and what they've done in New Japan. So they've been subliminally dropping the name in to get everybody, to remind everyone where they've come from more than anything else. But I think it's also dropping hints that maybe Impact and New Japan are hopefully coming together. Yeah, they're definitely talking.
They're talking and they're starting to sort of like kind of, build those bridges. And I think that's what we're starting to see now. We're just starting, it's touchy feely, one step at a time and see where we go with it. If it ends up being, you imagine if we end up with like an Impact versus New Japan super show or something, that would be amazing. Would be good. You just don't know, do you? But bottom line is it's small steps, baby steps, build those bridges, build the trust. And who knows where this could go. I think it would be amazing to see a relationship. Is it there yet? Not sure, but it's nice to see that there is, there's small baby steps going on.
Yeah, I think a cross promotion event like we did with Lucha Underground would be a great way to kickstart everything.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, co-promotion thing. I think, if you look back as far as when there was something going on with New Japan in Madison Square Garden, maybe, or something. I can't remember now, but I know that Impact jumped in and helped them out.
Yes, they did.
With the production side of it and all that. There was I can't remember what it was now, but it's quite a little. It was way back.
Yeah.
So of course, again, the bridges were starting to be built. And these things can only happen over time. It's not gonna just suddenly all be mended and built overnight. It takes time. So, and I think we're now starting to see a little bit more, and hopefully eventually we'll start seeing talents, and the Impact Wrestling name branded all over the place. When it comes to New Japan, and same with New Japan and Impact. Is the relationship over between Ring of Honor and New Japan? Because they've definitely they've had a working relationship for years, or is it now, are we starting to see maybe a working relationship between Impact, New Japan and Ring of Honor?
That would be good. All the territories working together, like it used to be.
I think very, very interesting to see.
ECW did it in the Paul Heyman talked about it ages ago, how ECW worked with all the other promotions rather than buy everybody out and steamroll everybody like Vince McMahon had done. So I think Impact's going about the right way, and AEW's doing the same thing. They're working with other companies rather than bulldozing everybody, and I think it's the right thing to do. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this pans out. There's some incredible talent in there, including like Leo Rush, I believe is going to be in this. Did I say? I think I saw ACH is going to be in there as well.
I've not seen him for ages.
Oh man, what a talent. So I think there's going to be some really, really good matchups in this tournament. It's going to be interesting to see how far Chris goes. Again, if he gets past the first round, we're starting to, the relationship is maybe better than we thought, that kind of thing. So, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this all pans out. Again, there's going to be TJP in there as well, who, we are lucky enough to see on Impact regularly. So it's nice to see that he's going to be there as well. So, I'm definitely I'm looking out for this one. I'm definitely going to make sure I watch it, check out what's going on with that. Maybe we could talk about some of the news with regards to that as as the weeks go on and the months go on. It'd be interesting. Now I think that's going ahead in December, isn't it? So let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye and see how that all pans out. Now I think probably the biggest thing for me to come out of Bang for Glory has to be the announcement that the Knockouts tag title match it's announced to happen at Hard to Kill in January in 2021, and that we're going to have an eight tag team tournament to take us to the final two teams that will be competing for that tag title at Hard to Kill in January. Now I just want to talk about the potential teams. I mean, we've got possible teams already that are within the company, and there is, but I don't think all 8 teams are going to be made up of teams from the current roster. I think we're probably maybe 6 of them will be, and I reckon we might get 2 sort of kind of maybe teams
2 wild cards.
Yeah, wild card teams or something like that. So my first one on the list straight away is obviously Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. They are blatantly a tag team now.
Yeah, my pick to be the champions. I'm going from them all the way.
Yeah, and I think Impact's been making them look quite strong. The characters are good. The team dynamic is there. They work well in the ring. Both explosively fast. So that there is a good chance for them to be up there in that final spot. We then got Taya and Rosemary. Now, this is an interesting one because I'm not sure where this is going. We need to get this Who Shot Johnny Bravo thing out the way to know whether that is going to be a bona fide team moving forward.
Yeah. This could be the make or break in their relationship. They could lose a match during the tournament and then split apart there.
Maybe, or they might not even get to the tournament. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So whatever happens with this Johnny Bravo thing that's going on at the moment could end up, being the difference maker to whether they end up a team or they split apart again. So, but at the moment, as it stands, there is a possibility of Taya and Rosemary, team Ragnarok. Then we've got Havoc and Nevaeh, who are very clearly a tag team now. Whether they'll be the Death Machines, I don't know. But either way, you've got Havoc and Nevaeh are very much a tag team. Would you agree?
Oh, when Nevaeh finally made her in-ring debut on Impact Wrestling, the first thing Madison Rayne pointed out was that Nevaeh and Havoc have a working relationship outside of Impact Wrestling, and they are a tag team. So that was embedded really very, very early on, so everyone knew Nevaeh's backstory. So I think Havoc and Nevaeh and Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz are the strongest teams on there.
Yeah, definitely, without doubt. Now, we've also got the pairing of Deonna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee. Now, at the moment, Deonna hasn't got the title. We know from this past week that they've now got a title match with Su Yung Jen at Turning Point in a couple of weeks. So, could we see Sue lose there? I don't know. Again, I'm not sure where they're going with all of this.
Yeah.
I thought her entrance last night was again absolutely superb, and they're proper bigging her up as well. So
she's terrifying.
I think she's obviously going to be the champion for a little while now. So I think we'll probably see Deonna lose, and then someone else will obviously come to the forefront to then start knocking at the door of that title again. Now, this is the thing here as well. That for me, that's another thing with regards to Taya and Rosemary, because both of those would make fantastic opponents for Sue, as we all know. And I'd love to see Taya and Rosemary with the strap again, especially Rosemary. I think that would be amazing. So again, like I said, that's another possible stumbling block there for that tag team. Now, yeah. So, but then you can also look at it as saying, well, if Deonna does win the title, well, maybe they're fancy going for the tag titles as well.
Yeah.
So Deonna and Kimberly, end up becoming tag champs. So that they're not only is Deonna the Knockouts champ, she's also the tag champ with her friend. So. Yeah, with her friend Kimberly. So interested. That there is a possibility of that, but of course, if she doesn't, then there's another title because she's out of the picture then, because she would have lost to Sue couple of times then, so that she's lost her rematch or whatever it is, your automatic rematch for the title is done and dusted, and maybe it's a new title for Deonna to go for the tag team title. So there is those two could be tied. So that's 4 possible teams at the moment. Now we also know, after this past week on Impact, that Madison and Tenille are now a team. Now,
this was a shock. I thought that this was set up brilliantly. This was a shock.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that to happen. As I was saying to you earlier,
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe we'd see an appearance from Velvet Sky.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few legacies out there, legacy tag holders out there. We've got ODB, we've got Taylor Wilde. Could they be coming in? Which is interesting, isn't it? There's dynamics there. All former champions. Could we see, like I say, a return of Velvet Sky? Now, my initial thought processes was that maybe that would be the return of Velvet. We'd see Madison and Velvet renew the beautiful people, and come in again as tag team. That they would have been tag team champions themselves.
Yeah.
However, it now looks like we're going to get Madison and Tenille. But the interesting thing is that again they're acting like two beautiful people.
Oh,
in the way that they are, it's all about me and look at my looks and how beautiful I look and all that kind of stuff. So, I could see that coming in. And could we then still see a return of Velvet Sky to join the new and improved beautiful people with Tenille Dashwood instead of Angelina Love?
Yeah, it's something like Cross we were talking about it earlier. And I know when we set out the blueprints last night, you had Alicia Edwards and Madison Rayne possibly be in the team. And when Tenille Dashwood dropped the bombshell last night, I wish you could have seen my face. So it was like, no, I did not expect it. And I was also thinking, well, that's the Bison's flying out the window straight away. So, but then the thought crossed my mind of the beautiful people.
Yeah.
Angelina Love, or even Velvet Sky. I think Angelina Love is still with Ring of Honor, but if either of them could come back to Impact Wrestling even for the short stint, just for the tournament, it would be really good.
Yeah, be interesting. Hands out, definitely. Now, I also, and I would definitely, I mean, the other one that's out there the most, Sarita, which is, I forgot, Sarah Stock, was Taylor Wilde's partner when they were tag champs. I think they were the last all-female knockout champs, tag champs, because obviously Eric Young and ODB were the champions when it was retired back in 2009-ish, I think, somewhere along there. So that's interesting. But there's got to be a couple of legacies coming into this. There's got to be. That's why Madison's in this. She's a legacy title holder. That's why she's in this. So it'd be interesting to see if we could get, a Taylor Wilde turn up for this as well. I think there is a strong possibility of that. And also I still believe that if, for instance, Ty and Rose end up challenging for the knockouts title, and they start going for all of this, then somewhere along the line there's got to be something recreated for Sue to be able to challenge, have a challenge for the knockouts title.
Yeah.
So, where is that going to come from if everyone's paired off? Now, one person that don't seem to be getting a partner is Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
So, is there a possibility that she doesn't get a partner at all and she ends up in the picture, to build a storyline with Sue?
Yeah, well, we saw how everything went with her and Alicia Edwards the week before. It was gold.
Yeah.
But sadly, poor Alicia, she just couldn't
catch a break.
Couldn't catch a break.
No, she can't catch a break, poor Lish. So that then led me to the fact that, so there is a possibility it could end up with Jordan. However, there's also a possibility that someone could join Jordan as a tag partner from outside. So, or people coming in could start challenging for the knockouts title or whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, is there now a possibility, especially with unfortunately Kylie not being around, that there is definitely space for at least one, if not a couple more knockouts. Could a Killer Kelly or Kelly Klein or maybe a Lacey Ryan? I could see Lacey Ryan tagging with Jordan Grace.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. There's someone else who's crossed my mind. Maybe not to a team with Jordan Grace, but Sienna has announced she's a free agent now from NWA.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Green is also not wrestled since April, and Marty Bell, I think she's a free agent as well. So I don't know, Alison Kay and Marty Bell are a tag team.
Yeah.
Elsewhere.
The only thing I would say with regards to Chelsea Green is she's, even though she's not wrestled, she is still under contract.
Yeah.
So unless she's released and done her 90 days, which as far as we're aware that's not happened, I don't think we'll see a return of Laurel Van Ness, that's for sure.
Bit of a shame.
Yeah, definitely a shame. She was a good character, but I can see the likes of Killer Kelly Klein, who is an ex Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and like I said, Lacey Ryan, powerhouse, would fit in beautifully with Jordan Grace, because not only is she's strong and fast, she's also very athletic. She's a bounce around, get up to the top rope type of gal. So you've got some very interesting styles there. You've got the total powerhouse of Jordan Grace, who's gonna electric chair you and throw you around all over the place. You've got Lacey Ryan, who can also do that, but at the same time can come at you from aerial positions. So there's I don't know, that
it's like the women's version of the North.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess it probably is. Yeah,
very much. Less charisma, but still, the two big powerhouses are underestimated. How quick and how technically sound they are.
Yeah, and both have different attributes. Like you say, Josh is a complete, mat technician. He will go up a little bit, but he's a mat man. And then you've got Ethan, who's a little bit more athletic in the sense that he will get up the ropes, he will do standing drop kicks and all that kind of stuff. He is a karate man after all.
Oh yeah.
So you say, you've got two contrasting styles, a lot of offense, a lot of defense going on, very good, technically sound. And again, you've sort of got something similar with Lacey Ryan and Jordan Grace in there. But who knows? We can all, it's just our thoughts, we can all fantasy put these tag teams together, but we just don't know who it's going to be.
I'm looking forward to see what the audience have got to say. I'm gonna watch this when it goes live and see what you guys have got to say in the comments. Yeah,
I'd love to hear your comments. Who do you think could be coming in? Who do you think, or what do you think will happen with Taya and Rosemary? Will they end up a team in this tournament, or will they get split up before it even kicks off, or will they lose in the first round maybe, and then have a big row and split up, and then start going for the Knockouts title? I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm really, really looking forward to this tournament. So please leave your comments on that one. Now, moving on a little bit, okay. This past week we've got some matches set for Turning Point on November the 14th on exclusively on Impact Plus. Now, Rich Swann versus Sami Callihan world title match.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to go into too much detail because I know that we're going to do a prediction show, but this is going to be a good match, right?
If it's anything like their match, they had, what was it, Rebellion 2000? Don't need to say 2000. I wasn't watching it. 2018, I think it was. They had a match at Rebellion, anything like that, just to re-spark that rivalry that they had, is gold. Yeah. And Eddie Edwards even said that to Rich Swann that he knows the past he's had with Sami Callihan, and Josh Matthews was bringing it up during the match as well to remind everyone that there's a lot of history between Sami and Rich Swann, and there's a lot of bad blood between them as well. Yeah. And I'm just so pumped for this match. I'm a big fan of Rich Swann, and I'm a huge fan of Sami Callihan.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you to predict a winner because I want to talk about that next week.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be an absolute blinder of a match, and I'm already pumped for this match already. So I think that's going to be amazing. It's great to see Sammy back where he belongs, up in the main event scene, which is also fantastic. Yeah, we're definitely going to get plenty of these bad boys during the match. But how many pile driver attempts is it going to cost him? We'll have to wait and see. Now, and also we got the Good Brothers versus the North announced. Now, that's going to be a slobber knocker as well, isn't it? I mean, we've got quite a lot of bad blood there. We saw from this past week on Impact the Ethan Page versus Doc Gallows. That was a great match. That really was.
Following the slap heard from around the world. And have you seen the video Ethan Page did on his vlog about it?
Yeah, it's very funny. And again, all these things, it builds the bad blood, doesn't it? These are all the things it was, and I love the way that nowadays everything is sort of it doesn't stop. Yeah, you get the show on Tuesday night. And then literally the minute the show's aired, we're starting to get the social media interactions with the talents, again, building tension and building those storylines. I like recently the Impact have started to sort of release exclusive little promo snippets. On socials. I don't know if you've seen them, Joe, but there's one I think from Moose, and there was one from somebody. There was just about 3 or 4. There was a Swoggle one. There was a Swoggle. Again, all these things are just sort of forwarding these characters, and taking them to the next step where you don't necessarily have to wait a whole week for that. You can do that. Like you say, on social media, you could release something on Impact Plus. There's loads of ways that they could do it. And they seem to be doing it really well. And I think, this is built again, we got next week yet. What's going to happen next week between these guys to really start to build the bad blood, So it's going to be interesting to see. I think that's going to be one hell of a matchup. So we've got 2 fantastic matches that are set. Who's going to win? Well, we'll talk about that next week. Sue versus Deonna Purrazzo. This is obviously the title rematch for Deonna. Is she going to win, or is Sue gonna walk away with that Impact title? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out, because like you said, if Deonna loses this one, then she's out of the title picture, isn't she? Completely.
Definitely. This match also plays into Sue Young's hands a lot more. It's no disqualification, because she got herself disqualified in the last match. Oh,
it's basically a hardcore match, isn't it?
Yeah. So Scott D'Amore's not had enough of Deonna's lawyer already, and he really just says take it or leave it. the Scott D'Amore's, we'll talk about that a bit more next week. So, but going back to the match, this was I was hoping to see Sue Young defend the title, and Deonna Purrazzo was the most likely option, because I couldn't see Kimberly suddenly jump into a title shot, or Jordynne Grace.
No, but again, it's someone like Kimberly could be the difference maker, couldn't they, to whoever Deonna ends up winning again.
Yeah.
But like I said, there is a lot of implications on this match, because if Deonna loses, that's it. She's lost her rematch. She then has to start again to build back up to get another one, doesn't she?
Definitely.
So it's interesting who will then take Deanna's place, and this is what like I said, we were talking earlier, that, would it be a Taya? Would it be a Rosemary? We've not seen a feud, a proper full on, fully fit Rosemary against a Sue Young, have we?
No, not since the Monsters Ball, when Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary Havoc, and Sue Young.
But not just the two of them.
Not one-on-one, but that was the last time we really saw them all square off. And I think Rosemary would be the next candidate to go for Sue Young.
I think so. I think that'd be great. And of course, like I said, they've been showing Rosemary as being so strong lately. So it's going to be interesting to see, where all of that one pans out. But again, I'm not going to give you my prediction. We'll save that for our next show.
Why else does she want to sacrifice Johnny Bravo?
There's got to be a reason. Well, I think the reformation of the ministry of something or other, or the new church, or the Ministry of Decay, something like that. I don't know. There's going to be, I think maybe that's what's going on here. Because like I said, not only did we get Johnny being, potentially killed to be reborn, in my opinion, you also had Crazy Steve walking Rosemary down the aisle. Her brother from Decay, right? He's not her real brother, but he's her brother from Decay. So why wouldn't it be Tommy Dreamer, for instance?
Yeah.
Down the, do you know what I mean? Why is it Crazy Steve? There's got to be a reason. It cannot be, the Decay. Just because they were in the same faction, in kind of brother faction or whatever you want to call it, brother and sister faction of Decay, unless there has to be some kind of tie-in. There must be a reason for that.
There's always a reason with when it comes to Rosemary. There's always a there's always some sort of story development when it comes to Rosemary. Anything she does always links onto something else. It's one of the best things about Rosemary.
Or however you put it. Like foreshadowing. There's lots of that stuff going on. Lots of foreshadowing. Lots of Easter egg stuff where you say, "Oh, hang on a minute," that's what they used to do when they were doing this, or she used to do that and that, or whatever, And again, they're changing of makeup. People don't realise how significant the changes of makeup is for Rosemary. When she changes her makeup, she is a different sin.
Yeah, she's got the 7 deadly meat suits, as she calls them.
She's got the 7 deadly meat suits, right? So when she changes her makeup, she is a different sin. And it's important, that these are the things you've got to pick up on whatever scene that she's in. It's important because that is the difference maker to, if she, was she, I can't remember the makeup she was wearing for the wedding. What character was she at that point?
Envy.
She was Envy.
Still at Envy, and she's still at Envy now, and it's now transitioning into something else.
She's gone with the red eyes now because it's Envy the purple.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. So it's interesting. That's why I was saying I don't know whether maybe the red eyes are wrath or of some sort. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up, but it is important. It's all part and parcel of the story. Which Rosemary are we actually watching at this moment in time? What meat suit is she wearing?
She did post something about all 7 of them earlier on in the year on her Twitter account, and so did Courtney Rush. So I'm sure we can ask them about it and dig it up.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look. I think I might have a little look myself to find out so we can get a grasp on these different makeups, because I have seen her wearing a couple of different ones in different promos. So it's very, very, everything done has a purpose. Yeah, there's nothing that they do especially in this Undead Realm stuff. There's nothing that they do in this stuff that it doesn't have a reason or a purpose or to sort of kind of tie in from promo to promo. There's always going to be something in there, how a story progresses. You just have to sort of kind of read between the lines and try and figure it out or whatever. But that's the fun stuff. That's the fun part about it, right?
That's what we love about Rosemary so much.
Yeah. And I just think the people that don't really like the Undead Realm stuff are the people that don't really understand it.
Exactly.
They don't get how clever it is. But let's see where this all pans out, my friend. Let's see where this all pans out. It's going to be interesting. So, turning point will be the make or break for Deonna Purrazzo with regards to the Knockouts title, and could then help us look to see which way she goes. Is she going to go after the tag titles, or is she now the Impact Knockouts champion again? So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this all pans out. I'd love to see, and I think, I don't know if someone mentioned this before, but I'd really love to see Su Yung pulling double duty in a sense of, being Susie and Su Yung.
Yeah. I thought when she come back after Rosemary resurrected Su Yung from the dead with James Mitchell, she came in as Susie, and she scared the Dean, isn't that? I thought they did a bit of it then,
Yeah.
And to do it now would be going the reverse way, I think, which I think would play out in Su Young's favour a lot more as well. It'd be just an interesting twist on the storyline to really get Deonna Purrazzo to think that Su Young isn't as strong as she really is, and then pull a blinder.
I mean, you could imagine, like, like all of a sudden, if on next week, Susie turns up in the dressing room and, says hello to Deanna. It's like, hey, hi, I'm Susie. And it's like, she'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting, how all these sort of things, you could add an absolute twist all over the place with this whole two personality thing going on, or you could even play it that they're two totally different people.
Yes, people think that people still don't believe that Su Young and Susie are the same person. It's insane. If you want some proof, then go and look at Su Young's Twitter feed and Instagram profile, and you'll see that the same person there.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But I think that would be I think that would be interesting to see the Susie character sort of kind of play into the storyline in somehow, almost potentially freaking Deanna out. It'd be interesting to see how that all pans out. Maybe then when Susie turns up, Kimberly challenges Susie to a match or something, and we get Susie in a match, and then all of a sudden she sort of flips a switch and turns into Su Young and totally destroys Kimber.
Exactly.
It would just be, I don't know. I think it would just add a totally different dimension, another story and a twist to the whole Su Young kind of,
this
saga
is the best thing about the creativity in Impact Wrestling and Su Young and Rosemary, especially, that they're characters that can do anything and be entertaining. It's really hard not to be entertained by either of them.
I think Rosemary as a character, or Courtney Rush or whatever, I think her acting skills are fantastic. Same with Taya. Her skills have come on really well.
She's fantastic now.
She was a little bit awkward when she first came into Impact, but her promo stuff is so good now. And she proper, takes on the character that she's portraying so well, and she's very believable and natural. Everything is just so natural that you believe. Same with Eric Young. When Eric Young goes into world-class maniac mode, I think even some of the roster members have said that, they find it difficult to differentiate between the two.
He's terrifying.
Because he's
when he goes
terrifying.
Yeah.
He's so believable as this absolute crazy
Sammy Callahan.
Totally. And same with Sammy. Totally believable. But anyway, God, Joe, I'll tell you what, mate, we don't have to go out on tangents sometimes. But anyway, so
the fans like it.
Yeah, I hope so. So as we were saying, turning point at the end of the day, those are the three big matches, the title matches that we definitely know that we've got. I know there was a few other matches. I know there's a Brian Myers Swoggle match, and that should be interesting, that one.
Yeah.
And I believe there's
Bruce and Willie Mack as well.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce and Willie Mack.
We'll go into those next week.
But so there's been quite a few that have been released. It looks like it's going to be another fantastic card. And well worth, subscribing to the Impact Plus app to get these each and every month. They are pay-per-view quality shows. They really are. Since Victory Road, they are superb. So you don't want to miss these. And again, they're at a point now where they're using these monthly specials to really forward storylines, end storylines and restart new ones, or move them, within, everything that you're starting to see on a weekly basis is all tying into the Impact Plus specials as well.
Exactly.
So it's definitely, it's well, worth watching them. They're not just a standalone show anymore. It's all part and parcel of Impact Wrestling as a whole. So I mean, we've had some great talking points, mate. Great talking points tonight. All that's left to say to everyone really is make sure you give us a thumbs up. right? It really, really helps us. It really, really helps the channel. If you give us a thumbs up, it gets us in more and more timelines. More and more people see us. Fantastic. Don't forget to leave a comment on all the things that we've been talking about today. We really want to know your thoughts on who shot Johnny Bravo. We really, really want to know what you think, who you thought did it, why you think they did it, because that's important. You can't just come in there and say, I think it was Alicia Edwards. Okay. Well, why was it Alicia Edwards? What's your thought process behind it? If that's what you think, fantastic. We've given you what we think. It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out, but we want to know what you think. Yeah. We've also got the New Japan and Impact stuff. Chris Bey representing Impact Wrestling at the Super J Cup. How do you think all that's going to pan out? Very interested to hear your thoughts, guys. Now, the the Knockouts Tag Division. Okay, we've got the tournament coming up. What teams do you want to see in the tag tournament? What teams do you think we're going to see in the tag tournaments? Do you agree that maybe Taya and Rosemary, for instance, might not get to the tournament? Do you agree with me or, some of the thoughts that Joe said? Joe's had some really cool ideas in there as well. What do we think is going to go on with Jordynne Grace? Do we think she's going to end up with a partner? And who do you think that partner may be? Who's it going to be? Do you think we're going to see some returns? Is this where we see Taylor Wilde? Is Taylor Wilde going to turn up for this tag team tournament? With Sarah Stock, for instance, or is she going to turn up with ODB by her side, one of her best friends? There's a potential that this could be anybody. Are we going to see some of the indie free agents? Killer Kelly Bryan. I don't think we're going to see LuFisto. I think she put something out saying that we won't be seeing her at Impact Wrestling. Lacey Ryan is another one that I think would be amazing addition to this. I think actually, as we discussed, Jordynne Grace, Lacey Ryan would be an amazing tag team. That's my thought. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave us your comments below. Joe and I love interacting with you guys. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Have you got any thoughts on Turning Point? Is there anything you might want us to bring up on the next edition of Impacted? There's something. Is there anything you'd like Joe and I to discuss?
Yeah.
Leave in the comments. We'll make sure.
Coming, guys.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we put it into the next episode. We'll answer it. We'll discuss it. And we'll even make sure that we mention that it was you that asked us it. So please leave us a comment. As many comments as you like. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe.
Step into the void, guys. Step into the void.
Or the empty space of Joe's mind.
No one can fit to the empty space.
Or join
what comes in comes straight out.
Or join the Beefalo thing. So so there's lots of things to be talking about. Like I said, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, head over to the Total Nonstop Impact channel, give us a sub, smash the bell,
smash it.
Smash it. You want to smash it. Smash the bell.
Bravo. Don't make it be you next. Just
to
clarify, that's not a threat. That's a joke.
So just to be fair, leave your comments below. We do want to head over, smash the bell, make sure you don't miss a listen on any of the fantastic content that comes out from the Total Nonstop Impact channel each and every week. Don't forget, Total Nonstop Impact is the #1 review show of Impact Wrestling in the world. That goes out half an hour after Impact on a Tuesday night, every single week live. They love interacting with you guys. Go in there, interact with the guys, throw your questions out and get involved in discussion. Fantastic review show, so make sure you don't miss that. And of course, each and every week we get an episode of Impacted, and who knows, at some point next week we may have a really big edition of Bison Talks Impact, but I will leave that for another time. Now, fantastic episode, Joe. Like I said, that's been my friend, my brother from another mother, the incredible Joe-Ker, and I've been Bison, and this has been this week's edition, episode 7 of Impacted.